Hello all, my name is Sai Ganesh Marathi, and this is a video demonstration on the project of use case analysis of cyber physical intrusion attacks. And we are working under the guidance of Ellen Kiran Kumar sir, and our batch number is 88. And these are my fellow teammates and batchmates, and myself Sai Ganesh, and I'm the team lead of this project, and I'm the team members are Kaushik, Shashipritam, and Arvind. And before going into the context, I would like to give you a rough idea that table of contents which we'll be discussing, and we'll be discussing in depth about abstract use cases of cyber physical intrusion attacks. We have in the last semester we have been worked on the network attacks, and in the current semester we have been started working on web and some other application vulnerabilities. So let's get into deep details, and we'll be discussing about abstract. We'll be discussing about problem statement, the proposed solution, and the use cases, and how we have found some real-time websites of the use cases. And at last I'll be concluding. And okay, so these are the things which will be in the table of contents. And so let's go with the abstract right now. Abstract. When it comes to cybersecurity is a very vast field, and cyber attacks are important issues faced by many organizations. And the project each gives a in-depth idea for the developers and security researchers, where they get in-depth of attacks ideas. I mean, they will be examined so many real-time websites, how the attacks are going to happen, and we have studied so many research papers and articles from the medium and about use cases of cyber physical attacks. And we will also worked on some real-time websites and some labs as well to get in-depth idea, and we'll be showing you live demo in this video demonstration as well. Okay, so we have explored so many real-time bugs, and we have worked for I personally worked for a vulnerable disclosure policy for telecom company. And I'll be discussing more in detail in this demo, okay, in this video demonstration. So problem statement, when it comes to problem statement, our main motive is to identify vulnerabilities in the real-time websites. So we would like to do some part of bug hunting and some part of penetration testing project. This is the completely. And we have developed a few reports, and we have mailed to few companies, and they have, I personally mailed few of them. I got duplicates, and our main intention is to identify the vulnerabilities in real time. We report to the organizations, we make the websites to get safer, and reduce the threat detection and minimize the risk of unauthorized access from the hackers or crackers to and data compromise. Okay, so let's see. My friend Shashi will continue from here onwards. So I'll invite him. And okay, Shashi, are you in? Hello.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Okay, then you'll continue.
Hello, my name is Shashi Pritam. I am from the same project. Let us go to the next slide. Ganesh can. Oh, thank you. Our objective is to develop a website which helps the developers and security researchers to get an idea about the use cases of cyber physical attacks. In the process, we would like to work on some responsible disclosure policy and report vulnerabilities and loopholes to that company, and give a proof of concept for the users to understand deeply about the use cases. Next, proposed solution. First one is to collect of use cases of cyber physical attacks or web attacks. Second is deep research on and development work on use case of cyber physical web attacks. Third is installing the tools like Suite and some other tools, find vulnerabilities and make proper proof of concept for users to understand use case in detail. Next, use cases of web attacks. From the given problem statement, we have proposed the solution that to identify the vulnerabilities in different websites and give the report to companies that has generated legal report that identifies the web attacks in their website. These are the types of web attacks are listed below. Cross-site scripting, IDOR, or insecure, sorry, insecure direct object reference, SSRF, or server side request forgery, SQL injection, host header injection, HTMLI or HTML injection, two factor authentication bypass, parameter tampering. Now, my friend Ganesh will continue this. Ganesh?
Yeah, thank you, Pritam. And see, now I'll be discussing more in detail about 1 second. Yeah. So now I'll be discussing more in detail about the use cases where my friend Shashi has been given a rough idea. Uh, so let's start with cross-site scripting actually. Cross-site scripting is a type of vulnerability where we will be checking the input parameters. As a developer, we will be developing few input text fields in the HTML script, right? So if you think in a point of hacker or a particular security researcher who tests the website for cross-site scripting vulnerability, there he search for some input parameters where an end user can enter few text. So he will be giving some texts like script tags or H1 tags. So like that. Cross-site scripting is similar to what we will say HTML injection, but in cross-site scripting, most of hackers use script tag. As we all know, in the JavaScript, we have script tag. Most of the hackers use alert as a function. We will be getting some alert. They will be getting from triggers in the web page. So this is the type of vulnerability that one of the famous thing cross-site scripting. Okay. To prevent cross-site scripting, web developers should use some content security policies while developing their web pages. And the common ways where the attackers can get into is like session hijacking. They can steal the session cookies through cross-site scripting. They can use a command like alert document.cookie or something like that. So they can also use some phishing attacks. They can use some malicious scripts in the web pages, and the most of the people may think that this is a web page looks so safe, but inside and background some malicious code may running. And when the end user clicks that malicious link, he thinks that the web page is so good, but he doesn't know that the link is malicious and some hackable link. So we can say that the phishing attacks may happen with this type of cross-site scripting attack, and the data may be also theft with this attack. So we have to be, as an end user, we have to be so cautious about clicking any malicious URLs or unknown links. Okay, where let's move to next vulnerability or next use case. We'll be discussing about IDOR. IDOR is a thing which is a very most popular. It is basically found in the APIs as well, and few of them will be found in web applications. So let me tell you a situation like, see, let's think I'm working in one MNC company, and the company has so many users and employee IDs, right? Every employee has a unique ID. So whenever when I'm able to log into my desktop or my company website, I'll be giving some reference number ID with the parameter. So as an attacker or a tester of a particular website, when he get into the user, he will be having some certain ID with the website. So if the end user can able to change the ID parameter in the website, if he able to gain the access of other users by in his own system, then this type of vulnerability is called as IDOR, insecure direct object reference. This is the main intention of IDOR. Let me give you more clarity. So we let us assume each user an individual class. Okay, we are going to access them via objects. So we are going to get access with the one object to other object via few references. So the word itself says insecure direct object reference. So this is a very critical level vulnerability, and they often occurs when application expose their internal implementations objects like files, directories, database keys directly to the users, and most of them get to access control, and they get indirect references, some other unique identifiers. So as I told you, ID is some keyword where every user can be able to get their IDs of one user to other user. So it's a one of the key parameter. That's a key parameter which is there in this. Okay. So let's move to next use case. That's server-side request forgery. Server-side request forgery is also one of the use case and vulnerability that allows hackers to induce the server make request server in the behalf of attacker. So most of them attackers can exploit this vulnerability to access unauthorized information. Like every company has some confidential data like etc shadow files and etc password files. So they keep their passwords in some hashed form, and the normal user can't able to get access of those critical and confidential files. If a normal user can able to get access to those files, there's a chance of data theft there. So data leakage chances also there. So most of the hackers target these sensitive informations and local files so that they get these data. So data leakage, and they may chances of data leakage or server compromise, they bypass few security controls. So server request forgery is also one of the a critical vulnerability, and it can be chained to different vulnerabilities like local file inclusion and remote file inclusion as well. So this is a very critical vulnerability. So let's move to next thing, SQL injection. SQL injection is one of the famous vulnerability that we are able to hear from the since long days, and it's a type of web security vulnerability. It can be able to see on normal web pages when if we have user ID and password to enter. Mostly SQL injection is used to bypass the the login interface, and also to get the data by using few parameters like union and select commands using SQL. So I have seen few pages where we can able to directly access to the admin portal bypassing the login pages, I mean. So this is a very critical level vulnerability in the use cases. And what we have got analysis is getting in the theoretical knowledge is important, but practical matters more. So we have worked in each use case practical as well. So we will be showing few live demos in the coming things. And let's discuss about two-factor authentication bypass. See, two-factor authentication is a thing when we get authenticated to a particular thing. For example, we have a Gmail, right? When we log in, let's just have an application. We signed up through our own Gmail, and after logging into the account, we will be having some other OTPs or other authentication things, like we will be having some passcodes like that will be coming into the mail. If we enable two-factor authentication, we can able to bypass them. So this is also one of the thing where it's a very important that two-factor authentication, most of the people think that is a secured thing, but there is a chance of bypassing two factors authentication as well. We can able to bypass a normal thing by using SQL injection, and also by response manipulation in the burp suite. And two-factor authentication is also bypassed, and this can be happen attack. Possible attacks are phishing and session hijacking. With this two-factor authentication, they get the access of many things. And the process where every step need to be fully checked by the user, his or long-term credentials. Okay, there will be iris scan, fingerprint, some other etc. So the attacker may get into directly into his or account by bypassing his or in own login pages. Okay, so let's move into next thing. Parameter tampering is one of the famous vulnerability. This is basically treated as payment gateways. So whenever we have few applications like e-commerce websites or food delivery apps or some e-commerce website, we will be having few price, right? They can able to manipulate the prices, and they can able to send the request to the server by reducing the actual price to less price. For example, let us take an e-commerce application. I'm going to order something and its price is around 5,000, let's assume. So if I capture the request and able to manipulate the rupees from 5,000 to 5 rupees, if I say if the server accepts it, then there's a chance of having parameter tampering vulnerability. So the 5 rupees will be going to cut, and I'll be getting the product, right? So this is a very interesting vulnerability and a very important vulnerability that it should be checked for e-commerce websites and other websites where the developers. So it's a very critical vulnerability. We can able to get unauthorized access. We can able to get some, how we can order as much items as we can for a lead price. We can have the elevation of privileges. So from we can able from normal user to we can go to the root user as well. Form fill manipulation and URL manipulation also happens in this parameter tampering. So these are the use cases. I have discussed nearly about 6 use cases, and host header injection is also one of them. Host header injection is a thing where I'll be telling you in more detail, and about host header injection. It's simply nothing but having few hosts. Whenever let us assume we have an application, okay? So it has a domain, and the domain can be changed with the request for other domain. For example, let us take SR University is an website. Okay. So I'll capture the request. There will be few parameters when we capture a request using burp suit. We will be modifying few referrer parameters, or we will be adding few parameters to the request, so that we will be manipulating the server to transfer this request to other website. So we will be traversing from one website to other website by changing the host of the particular request. We are going to change the headers, or we will be adding few headers, so that the request gets manipulated to other website. This is the thing which I haven't mentioned in the PPT, but we'll be showing you the live demo about that. Okay. So my friend Shashi will be showing you that. So these are the results which we have been worked on. We have developed the website like this, and these are all the proof of concepts which we will be having in this. These are the common view of web application vulnerabilities, and whenever a end user clicks on any of this use case or proof of concepts, we will be getting like this. For example, this is a say IDOR, about IDOR, and here you will be having some POC link, and down also we can able to see the video demo, and next we will be having few causes and recommendations. We will be giving recommendations so that it could be helpful for the developers and security researchers to get a complete idea, and we will be attaching few articles related to IDOR, so that whenever a end user visits our website, then he will be having a complete idea about a use case or a vulnerability. So he can able to find the vulnerabilities. There are few approaches where we have been discussed in the video how to find the IDOR vulnerability. So that was the POC that was attached in the website. In this side, you can able to see the play button in the there. That was the POC, proof of concept, and later on we will be having causes and recommendations and related articles also mentioned in this web page. Okay. So then let's give a live demo on parameter tempering. So let's get into it. So this is a application related to Zomato and Swiggy type of thing. So let me get into the website actually. So this is a website, and I have my account over here. So the main motive of the parameter tempering is for the price manipulation. So I'm going to manipulate the prices of thing. Let's take this Domino's pizza, and I'll order few things. See, Domino's e-gift voucher of 400 rupees. I'm going to add into my account, and I'll I'll open my burp suit. I'll capture the request now. So I'll click on buy now. So the request is captured here. As you can see, you can see the offer quantity which is there here. This thing I am going to change from 1 to 0.01. Okay. This I am sending to repeater, and this I'll do response as request. Okay. I'm going to do forward. The quantity has been changed. Domino's e-voucher. Forward. The quantity has been changed. You can see the price got changed from 380 to 3 rupees. Actually, by changing the quantity, it shouldn't happen. The main loophole is at quantity itself. Why? Because quantity should never accept integers. So it's accepting and the price is changing. As you can see, the total, boom, we have got a pizza of 400 worth for 3 rupees, guys, for 3 rupees. So this is a very interesting vulnerability. So I'm closing this thing. Okay. I'm offing my intercept and I'm closing this thing. So this was the live demo on this website, and my friend Shashi will give you much more detail about from other vulnerability. Okay. Hey Shashi, are you there? Hello.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Yeah. Shashi, let me tell you. I'll give you some remote access so that you can give some live demo. Okay.
Thank you, Ganesh.
So once check, have you got any control?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. Go ahead.
Hello. Already my friend Ganesh explained about the host header injection. Now we see the live demonstration of host header injection. Okay. Now let's go to the web. Let's go to the browser and another. Let's go to the website. This is a website where we perform our host header injection. Now we will give some email ID. It's not important whether it is legitimate or not. We give some random email ID like and some random password. Now we open the burp suite, go to the proxy and go to the intercept and we on the intercept here. Now we minimize the burp suite. Now sign in. Here we can see that we have captured the request. Now we send it to the repeater. Now we off the intercept and go to the repeater. We can see that here is the our request. Now here we can see that referrer. In it we edit this link and I'm giving and I'm sending the request. Let's wait for the response. Here you can see that this is the response. We redirected to the www.evil.com. Let me show response in browser and copy the link and minimize the burp suit. Now open the new tab. Paste the link. Enter. Now you can see that we actually redirected from the online survey website to the evil.com. This is the host header injection live demo. Thank you. And we go to the presentation. This is the references by which we we got an idea to how to develop a project. You can see the references and go through it. Next. My friend Ganesh will continue from now onwards.
Thank you, Shashi, for giving a live demo about host header injection. So this is the process of I mean, this is the process of finding vulnerabilities, as I myself have shown you a live demo on parameter tempering, and my friend Shashi also showed a live demo on host header injection. So I would like to conclude that there are so many web applications where most of the developers don't know in detail, and most of the security researchers are learning. So our website is like to provide in-depth knowledge for the young students who are getting into the cybersecurity field, specifically in the field of penetration testing and vulnerability assessment field. So this website gives a in-depth knowledge, and in summary, we would like to give recommendations as follows in the website. So mitigating the use cases and necessities for comprehensive strategies, we will be giving few measures and incident response as well. So in the future terms, I expect that the developers get in-depth knowledge, and they may use the organizations may use some tools and softwares which are integrated with AI and ML techniques, such that they helpful for the threat detection and a response, so that it will be helpful while developing the project itself, not before, I mean, after developing the project then testing team. So I think by developing the project only, the testing should happen in the parallel, so that it could be helpful for the developers and also security researchers. So AI can get in depth, and it can also find some more vulnerabilities that we can't find. So so in the future scope, we can able to expect they may use some advanced tools and techniques for finding some more latest vulnerabilities in the future. So our present use cases are in line with the existing vulnerabilities, and we have worked for a responsible disclosure policy, which have been told you, right? So host header injection is a one thing that we have previously worked on. So let me show you our response from the company, and we have got acknowledged from the telecom as well. So let me show you telecom. In the acknowledgement section, I have personally mailed them, and you can see most of researchers have been worked for this company. You can see my name is there here. You can see I've personally worked for them, and I've personally worked them, and you can see my name is clearly available in their acknowledgements page. So I would like to thank my guide and my whole team for getting this acknowledgement from team. In the process of developing the project, we have acknowledged with one of the company so that it could be helpful for our future career as well. So thank you all. Thank you.